Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, depending on where you are watching from. Welcome to Art School Live. Obviously, I am not Eric Rhodes. I am 𝗙𝗏𝗀𝗶. Eric is getting ready for our Art Business Mastery Day tomorrow, so I am filling in for him this week and next week, and I'm super excited. I love getting to do this show since I don't get to paint very often. It's nice to hang out with all these artists and watch them paint. So super excited to be here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm 𝗙𝗏𝗀𝗶. I've been here about 13 years. I do marketing project management. I manage our art competition. And I am also the Pastel Today community ambassador, since that is my primary medium, as well as dabbling in all of the other things, except oil. Oil is the one that I have not touched yet. It seems so daunting and just so much, because there's so much involved with oil painting, I feel like. So I'm excited to learn from Johanne today. This is going to be wonderful. So let's bring in Johanne.
Hey.
Welcome, Johanne Mangi. How are you?
The Muppet's here.
Hello, little guy. What's
that
his name?
The Muppet.
Or her name?
Jack Black.
Oh, hello, Jack Black. You're
Trouble.
So cute.
Trouble's his middle name.
Well, welcome, Johanne. Thanks so much for joining us today. And remind me, where do you live?
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Did you tell everybody the reason Eric's not here? It's because he's afraid of me. You didn't tell them that?
I didn't tell them that, but I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah,
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
You're very scary.
Yeah.
Johanne, what are you going to be sharing with us today?
Well, I came up with, it had to be something really simple because I don't have much time. And I wanted everybody, whoever wanted to, leave this afternoon and go off and do this with, whatever, just simple. So we're talking about shapes. It gives me the heebie-jeebies. Like there's certain things that give me heebie-jeebies. It's when they start with, their edges and value and drawing and shapes. And it's like, I can't think about all of that. I just have to do. So I came up with something that for portraits, because I think landscape, it's easier to see shapes. And sometimes, with portraits, it's a lot harder. And certainly if you paint live in North Light. So I have some suggestions, and I'm going to do a quick demo. And I think no matter where you're at in your painting journey, I think you can get something out of this. So
awesome. Well, why don't we go get this show started?
Okay.
It's Art School Live with Eric Rhodes. Now, here's your host, Eric Rhodes.
Hello, everybody. I'm 𝗙𝗏𝗀𝗶. Welcome to Art School Live. Eric is out this week and next week. He is preparing for Art Business Mastery Day tomorrow, and then going to take a much needed break after all that preparation. So I get the pleasure of filling in for you guys this week, and I'm super excited. We've had some really great artists this week, and I'm looking forward to today's artist, who is Johanne Mangi, the great Johanne Mangi, and she is going to be sharing with us about shapes and simplifying this so that anybody who's watching today could go later and do these things. So I'm really looking forward to this demo since I don't oil paint. So this is going to be awesome. So let's welcome Johanne.
Guys, what do you think?
Hi, Johanne.
Is this okay?
Yes. Might need to go up a little bit more.
You want a little more? Okay.
Just a little bit more.
We can do that. How's that?
There we go. I think that's good.
Okay. All right. Because I just want them to see the mixing area too.
And is this Jack that we're painting?
No, actually, but it is a Jack Russell Terrier. I actually painted this in one of my online classes a couple of years ago, and I thought this would be a good, fun thing to do. So basically, I printed out a picture. You guys have, you can see the actual image.
Yes, we've got the reference.
Okay. So, but what I have up here is a value study from a study. It's a print of a value from an app called Grid Painter, but there's a lot of different apps, no-tan apps, but anything where you can put in like 3 or 4 values. This is going to help you find the shapes. So I was going to also suggest that if you paint, I paint from life a lot. So, and it's hard. So what I would, but fun. I don't want to scare you off. Wait a minute. I have to qualify that. It's not easy, but you should do it because it makes a huge difference when you go and you start painting from photographs, because now you know how to read the photograph. We're not gonna get into that today, but what I'm gonna suggest is if you're painting from life and you're having a real hard time finding shapes, one way you could do it is, you know, what they call squint. And basically you just kind of close your eyes a little bit. I'm not real good at that because I've been squinting since I was 10 years old. So I don't want to do that. But I think because I have enough wrinkles, I don't need more. So I use this app, and you can use this if you're feeling unsteady in a live situation. You could take a picture and then stick it in the app and pull up 4 values. And now all of a sudden, pardon?
What's the name of the app again?
Well, the one I use is Grid Painter, which is, it's for iPhone, but there's others that are around or for your Android or one of those. But if you take a picture, and you could even do it on your phone where it has filters. If you use like noir or something like that, and it takes the color out and it starts to give you shapes. So this is a value, one of those, value prints. But right away, you see a shape. You have this shape, you have this shape, you have this shape. And they're not perfect, but it gives you some kind of roadmap to get you started. So I'm going to show you how quick. And I'm basically using one color. I've got yellow ochre with white and black, so that I made a dark. I have the yellow ochre will be the mid-tone, and then I made a light and then a white. And I have a little over here. I have a little 𝗙𝗵 because I might just want a dab of it. And then I have this turquoise, which isn't really going to do anything till the end. So enough of this. Let's just start putting paint down. And I'm going to say you got to put enough paint down. So the first thing I'm going to do is I didn't do anything with this canvas, but I think I'm going to, and just put a little put a little background in here.
And are you mixing that with a medium before you put it down?
Yeah, I just put some Gamsol in it, and I'm not being too fussy, but I'm just going to show you what you can do and why you don't need to be perfect about anything that we're going to do. All right, so the next thing I want to do is I think I put a little, I didn't draw anything, but I did put a marker to see where his nose is going to be. And again, I'm not all that concerned. Okay. So my feeling is once I get the eye and the nose in the general place of where it needs to go, I'm golden. Now I can pretty much do anything I want. So we could start with the darks. We could start with the lights. Let's do, we'll do the darks. And we're going to use this as the dark. So And maybe I'll make that a little darker. And it's, I can't see the image that you guys are looking at, but I actually put over here a painting I did of this in gouache so that we could do this quickly, I guess I should say.
That back painting was done in gouache?
Yeah, that's a gouache painting. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I've done like 4 or 5 portraits of dogs in gouache, and they look nothing like that. I'm clearly doing it wrong.
Well, I'm guessing that maybe you're using maybe too much water, maybe.
Or the wrong brushes.
Well, I do call my rosemary brushes my magic brushes, but I will say that you can use, you basically could use anything you want. So I'm looking at this and I'm saying, oh, okay, so there's this shape here. And, you know, when I do this, you know, I may appear like I'm making a mess. And the reason is because even if I drew this, you know, out, I mean, I'll watch painters and they do amazing stuff, but they'll draw everything out and then they paint within the lines. And I'm like, what? I couldn't possibly do that, because this is how you get interesting stuff to happen. Mm-hmm. Is you paint wet into wet. So I have a few markers of, and right now I'm using a really big brush. But if I'm putting it in, I'm just thinking about the shape. I'm not right now, I'm not thinking of the topography of the dog, which normally if I'm getting real serious, I'm thinking about, you know, the eye socket, you know, doing that, and you can do that. But right now I'm just looking at these shapes that were created by the app. And it just makes life so much simpler. Mm-hmm. And I'm like not being perfect here. As you can see, I'm not perfect, but let's throw some lights in. Actually, we need to put a little bit of this in.
Joanne, Michael Mentler says hi.
Hey, how are you?
He is staying in Dallas right now.
Oh, is he? Wow. Okay. So let's do some lights. Let's see. So let's say we're going to use this. And I'm using this shape, the shape that's underneath. I'm dragging paint. So basically what this does for you is makes you a little bit braver with pushing paint around. And, you know, without saying, oh my God, I gotta draw, I hate to draw. Drawing isn't really that big a deal. We just, in our heads, we make it a big deal. So, unfortunately, but, and I love to draw. I don't draw as much as I should or would want to, because, it's chaos around here is what I'm trying to say. So it's like, I do the best I can do. So let's put this in here.
So question, what's the difference between shape and form?
Well, shape is first you put in a flat shape and then you create form. So okay. I'm using this as my template. And then what I'm doing is I'm then creating form by pushing paint around. So I want this to turn. See, I want this to turn. So now I'm going to make this read like his muzzle. See, that's what I'm saying. You get hung up on all the terminology and then you get frozen. So I'm saying, let's just give that a rest. Let's just look at this thing here and it gets you a start to, and maybe I want a little bit of this here. Like, I can change my mind about what I want where. And that's what I intend to do. So, all right, now we're gonna,
is this a filbert that you're using?
Yeah. And actually, I was only going to use this for, I actually wanted to use this one, but I stuck with the big one for now. But
Neil is asking, is your white lead or titanium?
No, right now it's just titanium. So I'm not thinking of, I'm not making myself crazy of, I'm still looking at this image and I'm painting according to that image. So, and it may not be perfect, but I'll tell you, at the end of it, I'll come up with a, I'll come up with the perfect. Oh, and it would help if you tell me how we're doing on time so I can move along here.
Oh, you've got plenty of time.
Yeah, good. Okay. That's kind of why I did this, because so at some point I would I'll fix, I'll restate things, like for instance in here, and I'm doing this with, I don't have that image. I don't have that image in front of me. So I'm doing this strictly from this thing. So now I'm going to, think about let's see if I can start to turn this into something. I always get myself into these things. I say, oh, yeah, this will be a good idea. And it is a good idea. It's just, sometimes it's hard to get them done in a reasonable amount of time.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to show you is that it's not
as daunting as it may seem.
Exactly. And of course, I'm painting off to the side, so it's possible that things are gonna be a little wonky, but not enough so that you can't kind of see what's going on here. So let's see. So I want, and I'm going back in, but I keep looking at this. I keep looking at this because it's telling me a lot about the values.
Neil is asking what kind of hair your brush is.
Oh, these are just, today they're synthetics. They're my 𝗏𝗵𝗽𝗶𝗴, which I like a lot. All right, now I'm gonna, it's good that I have a lot of time here because I need to, whoop, did I bump are we okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, because I bumped the camera. All right, let's see if I can, let's get that nose looking like something. Let's see. Okay. So you could get like crazy or not.
Let's go with not crazy.
Oh, okay. So,
or you like going crazy. Let's go crazy.
Well, it's like I'm just trying to you see how I'm using paint? I'm using the paint to do stuff. So, all right, I just grabbed a little of this for fun. So,
oh, that makes it a nice kind of grayish color.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're using one brush for this entire painting?
Well, pretty much. I used the bigger one for the background, and then I didn't. Then I switched, and I'm just. You see how much paint I'm putting on?
Yeah.
The trick is paint. The trick is paint because you want to be able to move paint around. So
less paint on the under painting, and then more paint as you're moving along, as you're layering.
Yeah, I'm putting more paint on. And I think what I want to do is I might have to move that nose. So I think the nose is too far away for this dog. So
too far away in what manner? The snout is too long, you mean?
Yeah, I think the snout's too long. So I'm going to show you how. Now you're thinking, oh God, how am I going to do that? Because
that's exactly what I would have thought.
The dog is already in here. And so I'm going to show you how you do it. And you can't be afraid. Can't be afraid. Fear, they say that all the time, right? Like fearless, you have to be fearless. And it is true. But see, what I'm saying is if you use, these little templates, then you have something. And look, see, I used the template, but I still didn't quite get it right. So here, we're going to move. I'm thinking. Because I can fix that background. Now I want to move this. We're going to move this nose. So I think this nose is here. Oh, that's better, right? Doesn't that look better? I think that nose looks better.
That's amazing. So if that happened in gouache, would you be able to move it the same way?
Oh God, on gouache it's easier because it dries and then you just go over it.
Okay, I'm gonna need a private lesson, Joanne.
You got people on with gouache.
Not doing animal portraits. They're all doing landscapes.
Well, it's not really. It's the same thing because it's like, we're talking about shapes, right?
Yeah.
So. All right, now let's go back in here. Let's put that muzzle back in. Put a little that highlight on the nose. Wow, there's a lot of paint on here. All right. Cool. All right. Now I would probably think about, now I'll think about, I want to create a little form here. But see, I'm looking at this, and so I have this rolls off down. And see, the other part of this is it gets you have to think of this as like a little exercise.
Yeah.
It gets you to use paint. Do you know what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I love that somebody just said you got to paint like you're rich. Use that paint.
Well, hey, listen, cheap. It's yellow ochre, right? Yellow ochre, earth tones, inexpensive.
Oh, I never see. I'm not an oil painter, so I'm a pastelist. So I just buy sticks, and I know what they are based on who makes them. I didn't know that different colors meant different prices because it was a natural color or synthetic color.
You could buy anybody's earth colors, and you can afford it. It doesn't matter whose it is, you'd be able to afford it. that's earth colors. You get into the cadmiums, it's a different story, right?
Yeah.
Cadmiums are a different story. So like I used to try out different brands. This is a long time ago. I mostly use Rembrandt, but I use other brands. But I would try them out, and here, I just want to make this. So this is the snout. Comes off of there. Let's see.
So you've painted in gouache. Do you also dabble in acrylic as well?
I've done acrylics, but I leave those to the experts. Like I never did my underpaintings in acrylic, which I know a lot of people do, but I never did that. Never. Wait, there's a little something went flying on there. Okay. Now, okay, so
we've got about 25 minutes.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Okay, so I can fix this.
Yes.
All right, so now what I'd like to do is, after I used my shapes, so now I'll go in and think of topography. So like the eye socket. So let's put a little more form to the eye socket.
Okay, so when you say topography, you're talking about form.
That's how I think of.
Okay.
That's how I think of form. That's another scary word to me is form, and I'm not real good with these words. So you know how like they use your words.
Well, if they didn't give us 87 words that can mean one thing, it wouldn't be so bad. But the language is ridiculous.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is let's put that eye back in.
The eyes are my favorite part to do. There's so much life in the eyes that it brings it to life, I feel like.
Yep. Yep. Let's put that. Okay.
What kind of black are you using?
Ivory.
Ivory.
Ivory. And I'm this is really interesting because I'm basically doing this blind because I don't have the image.
Yeah.
I'm just figuring this out from that. So it's getting me to think about, so let's turn the skull, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then there's light hitting here on the cheek. And then let's see what we can put enough paint on here.
Carl is asking, do you like your background in a negative painting technique against the fur?
Run that past me again.
Yeah. do you like your background in a negative painting technique against the fur? I'm wondering if that
You
means.
mean that?
Yeah.
Not necessarily. I'm just kind of doing that right now. And what another thing that I would do, like I'm just doing this in these few colors, but I'd introduce a little, I would introduce a little yellow to brighten things. And if I wanted to punch something up, so we're turning. That's going back, right? I have to back up so I can see what's going on here. And I'm just using a lot of paint because it's basically all about having fun today. So see, I think that you could, whoops. Let's put a little, see, that would probably give somebody a heart attack, like to do that, right? Right. But what that does for me is then I can go back in and I can play with that eye and make it look super cool.
Yeah.
By going over it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it with a big brush. But I got a good point on this brush. So but I can easily get caught up doing this because I like to do this. And a smaller brush would help. So let me get a smaller brush to do this. So the thing that you're finding out is that you're actually seeing a lot of how I do paint. It's messy. It's like, people want to know, well, how do you get some of that you get? And it's because I'm letting the paint do a lot of the work, right? Letting the paint do a lot of the work. And then I'm going back over it. I'd like to get that eye to read better. And I don't worry that, like, you see how, like, I have this edge here, too much edge?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, it's not a big deal. Can make that eye bigger. And I don't, I'm just putting paint over paint. I'm cleaning my brush, but I'm not always cleaning my brush. because it depends on what part of the painting I'm involved with. So this poor little guy. All right, back to this. So this drags down. So the other thing is that once you determine, because I'm trying not to make this too confusing, but once you're in an area that you say, okay, this is all the light, or this is all mid value, then everything you do is going to be that. So you have to stick within basically what you're doing here. So that muzzle area, so I was using, and the other thing is it's a design thing, right? So you can alter whatever you want if you don't like, you know, how it's looking. So like, say you want something a little more dramatic, you want the light more dramatic, so you could change that, where that, how much of that, like this you could change, like you could make this lighter here, you could make, you're in charge of your destiny, as they say, right?
Yes.
So actually this little guy, let's see.
We've got about 10 more minutes.
Okay. See, and I'm reshaping his nose.
What size panel are you painting on?
Oh, it's just a little 8x10. And let's put, so I'm starting to get some form here. But so there's a whole lot of things I could, you know, say, but what I want you to concentrate on is the fact that you could use that value study or value print, you know, whatever, to quickly make something. And without expectation, you know, I think that's the key, is that you have to, let's put a little wisp of hair. And where, let's see, I would put a little yellow there. Let's see, this needs to. I want that muzzle, right? Muzzle.
Mm-hmm.
See, you can do, like, all I did was push paint around. And I did it off of that. So that's basically what and is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But you know what? If I wanted to make it perfect, it's all there.
Yeah.
It's all there. I could go back in and I could make it perfect. Here, we'll put a little pink on his chest. Yeah, I think on that gouache painting that's up, I definitely probably used some yellow. Whoops. Let's get that lip in. So I'm playing with his form. And let's just throw a little bit of this in. And I think I made his muzzles definitely too long. So if I wanted to
shorten it, you could do it all over again.
Yeah. But you can use the same brush. You have to wipe it pretty well. let's just see what happens if I try and move that. Then I'd have to. Whoops, didn't clean the brush well enough. Hey, let's see if I can. Interesting. And then that's better. That's better.
Still cute as a button.
Yeah, it's better. Oh my God. So funny. Very funny.
I can't believe that you could just decide that towards the end of the painting and just be brave enough to do it.
Yeah, well, see, that's the, I mean, that's the cool thing about this. So, you know, I did this so that I could have fun. It's like,
That's always the best way to do it.
oh God, too funny.
Well, while Joanne's putting the finishing touches on this, I do want to mention that she is going to be on faculty at the Planner Convention coming up in May in Lake Tahoe and Reno. Be sure to check that out, plannerconvention.com. It's a super fun time. Everybody gets together and paints, and it's just a really great time to learn from a bunch of different artists. And then we also have Art Business Mastery Day happening tomorrow for those that are interested in the business of art and trying to take your business to the next level. Be sure to check that out. It's streamlineartevents.com/marketing. And that is where Eric will be all day tomorrow.
And we should chop his head down a little bit.
I love how this came together. I really do feel like I could attempt this, possibly.
Yeah, no, it's not. See, that's the thing. It's like, you know, and then it's like, it's not meant to be perfect. It's, you know, it's like, you know, let's have some fun, like, you know. But getting something like that, and then what it does is it frees you up, and you can make it any color that you want, you know. I want to lighten that, and then put Whoop. I think it's a riot, but
Why?
that's me. That's like, oh my God, it's just too funny.
Why?
Oh, I think it's a riot.
I'm glad that you have so much fun painting. I get really frustrated.
Oh God, no. You can't get frustrated. Well, because I'll tell you, here's the thing. You're never gonna be good enough because you're always trying to get to the next level. So so you're always gonna end up like frustrated. And each time you're gonna be like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And it's like you forget how to paint each time. You're like, oh, I used to know how to do this. And then I'm gonna connect that muzzle, right? And now I probably have too much paint. Oh my God. I love it. I love it. So it's not like, I guess what's the point of all this? The point is that you can't let all that terminology get in your way, because I think it can be stifling.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why, I thought like doing this is just a simple, and then once you get the shape in, then you can start thinking about creating form.
Mm-hmm.
And just pushing paint. And you can't really do it if you don't have paint on the canvas. The more paint, well, maybe I have a little too much paint now, but but that's okay. I mean, really, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but
Well,
that's how you create all these transitions.
Yeah.
And so, I could go back in here and I could say, well, I want this shape to be more like this. And I'm just looking at that.
Yeah.
And I know that this, I would like push this into here to create that transition. Instead of making another color, I'm using the paint that's there.
Yeah.
And I'm letting that create all this stuff. So, and and what I would do is like, oh, if I needed to clean it up a little, I'd be like, oh, I want his jaw to be, I want to see his jaw a little more. So I might go back in and work on pretty much the topography.
Mm-hmm.
Of like, oh, I know his head is here, and it comes down here. So,
well, we have reached our time today. Thank you, Joanne, so much for this lovely demo. This was great to get to watch you paint like this. And thank you to everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't forget to check out pleinairconvention.com so you can paint with Joanne in person in Tahoe. an art marketing business day tomorrow with Eric. And we're here every day at noon Eastern on YouTube. So be sure to subscribe, check us out, follow us so that you guys can be notified and watch more awesome demos like this. So thank you guys. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great day.
Thanks. See you, Carrie.
Wait, don't hang up yet.
Oh, okay.